Yeah.
Yo, we hanging out with Rob at Front Row Live. It's the Oxymorrons.
What's happening, baby?
Two R's.
What's up, guys? Rob here from Live Entertainment. I'm hanging out here at the Moroccan Lounge with Oxymorrons, and I'm excited to be talking to you guys. Congratulations on this year so far. Like, you just wrapped up that Corey Taylor tour. You guys are currently on your headlining tour. You know, what has this tour life been like these last couple months for you guys?
First of all, before we even start, we gotta give him a okay, so tour life has been incredible.
Okay.
Corey's tour was awesome. That's been great. But also, for fans who don't understand, tour is a lot of work, and we've had a lot of van trouble and a lot of things that happen. So we're still in high spirits, but also it went down.
We've had 2 years of like coasting, nothing really too bad going on. This last month, everything happened at once.
Everything went wrong on tour, as far as like vehicles, went wrong.
Man.
Shout out to Black Ricky and get better soon.
That's our sprinter.
That's our sprinter van.
He has a name, our Mercedes Sprinter, Black Ricky.
We miss you, baby.
There we go.
I know you in Kansas City. We're coming to get you.
Over you, baby.
We're coming back to get you.
As soon as you get your part from overseas.
Yeah,
Man.
waiting for that engine to come from Germany.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Difficult times. That's what it's like when you're about to drop that debut album, though. I feel like every single challenge just finally happens.
Yeah.
But, you know, speaking of that debut album, you guys have been doing this for quite some time. The debut album is finally around the corner. What was that like, kind of perfecting it to the point where now you guys felt it was time to drop this record?
Man, what was it like? It was a lot of work. We sat back and like wanted to make sure we picked the right records. We had like tons of records. Maybe over 40. I can't even count how many records. We have to like sit back and like really decide like, all right, what is gonna fit the bill and what's not gonna fit the bill. And we just wanted to make sure in that we gave you guys the message that we wanted to bring to the table. And
I think too, like having the awareness and intention of the fact that this is a debut. So what do we want to show first?
seriously.
And then what else? What do we want? Like
Right.
having the foresight of like, what do we want to follow it up with? But not so much focusing on what's to follow it up. That makes what we're gonna show first so much more important and intentional. You know.
Right. Exactly, absolutely. Because we're constantly writing, we're constantly creating, and that's just something we're always doing.
Yeah.
So it's funny, as excited as we are as this album's gonna drop and it's gonna be amazing. We already know what album 2, how crazy that's gonna be.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
We get excited.
Yeah, but honestly, we're
Whoa. Hello, Trey.
We're talking over here. We're working.
Hey, relax.
Not cool.
Relax.
Shit.
what I was saying is that we are really proud of this. So, like, it's again, like every record on there is with intention and purpose, and we listen to this album and we feel like it's not our own in the best way. It's like, oh, this shit's awesome every time we listen to it. So we get hyped with our own music. So that's like the best compliment we can give ourselves.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of like that collaboration that you guys have as a band, but like it's these mixtures of genres that you kind of give us in your tracks, but also like vocally. You'll hear some like melody, you'll hear some rapping, you'll hear some screams, and like they all sound so amazing like every single
Thank
time
you.
you guys do it. What is that process like when you guys are in the studio recording these tracks? Like, do you guys do a lot of trial and error, or do you come into it knowing like this is what we're gonna do, this is where the scream is gonna be? Like, how does that work out for you guys?
It's a little bit of both. Like, it's like sometimes we know what we're gonna do. Like when it comes to like maybe one part and one section, you might know what we're gonna do, and then after that, it's just like randomly, like we could be like Jock could be playing a part, and D's like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna scream right here, like, or it's all random as much as it is together.
I think too, like when it comes to our writing process and style, here's a little nugget for y'all. Especially when we're combining things, we're not like, this song we want to accomplish this and this. We write part by part. Like arrangements are like, this verse will have this pre-chorus will have this chorus can do this, and we take it like all those moments within a song can do so many things, and we can bring so many different strokes and color palettes to this painting, as opposed to being like, oh, this one full track we want to accomplish rap and rock, or have like a drum and bass and melodic rock thing. Like we might have all 4 of those in one song. So we started making it more like microscopic, instead of like the usual blending I think happens in like the totality of a song. And we're just doing it piece by piece, which I think it's like made it a lot more unique.
Exactly, because that's what speaks to where you just hear a song or any of our songs and you never know what's going to happen because we don't really think about what's going to happen. What we do is we just create, and we're always doing what's best for the song at all times. Like when you speak about vocal cadences and what's going on and who's doing what, it's always like, oh, that's hot. You keep that, or yo, your voice is better for that. It could be someone might write a part, like even with that, like I might have a lyric and he might be the best person to sing it, or he might there's no rules with us.
Yeah, there's absolutely no ego also. You know, like there's zero ego. And also we're not a team of yes men. You know, like by any means. Like there are parts will be like, I got this, and everyone's like, nope. And so we'll be like, I kind of had this idea. It's like, no, that's it. That's the idea, you know, and we just run with it. So it's kind of it's fun just kind of bouncing off each other like that.
Yeah. And we challenge ourselves if we feel like it's not that good, but all right, go back and like work at it until we all get there and we're like, oh no, this is fire. And move with it.
And even back to Melanin Punk.
10/20,
October 20th, debut LP. We're getting good at this, by the way. No, not at all. But, you know, compared to the EP, I think everyone was like performing in their vocal comfort zone. It's like a lot more just like, you know, verses and raps from these guys. I was just kind of singing the hooks. Now with the album, this guy's singing a lot more. This guy's singing way more hooks. I'm rapping in one part, which I never
tables
thought
kind
I'd
of turned
be doing.
then.
Yeah, but because that's what's best for the song. Back to the point. It's like who delivers it best and like what makes the song better. Not who gets their moment to shine in this song. It has nothing to do with the individual.
We just want the song to shine, not the individual. Absolutely.
Facts.
You touched on cadences earlier, and that's another thing that I really love, that like no matter what kind of style you're doing, like these cadences are so catchy every single time. What is that process like whenever you're either like rapping or doing verses, like depending on what it is that you're doing? Like, do you consider those cadences already, or do you kind of let it just like free flow every single time?
A little bit of both. I think like we all pull influences from a lot of different spaces when we're creating or when we see something. Like for instance, like a good example is like Look Alive. Like I got the second verse on that, and my influence for that was Missy Elliott. I was like, if Missy Elliott was going to jump on the song, what was she doing? What would it sound like? What would it be like? And boom. And then I know these guys we pull influences from so many spaces, you'd be shocked that's where it's coming from.
I was saying his influence on his verse of Look Alive is Bad Bunny.
So the whole entire thing. I was like, what? Yeah, even the whole entire
thing. It's like
there you go. All right.
If Bad Bunny and Missy Elliott jumped on a metal track, that was hip hop.
You started something. You started something right here.
But that's why we're oxymorons, because we make things that's not supposed to match like fit perfect.
Is that something that like from the very beginning you guys like kind of had that mentality whenever you guys created music, or is that something that kind of just let itself show up?
100%, man, 100%, because we look at it like it's food. Like you don't only eat chicken, right?
Yeah.
So like, why am I gonna only focus on one ingredient?
That's true.
I could just like make a melting pot and come out with a full dish when it comes to it. So that's our thing.
In life, when you blend cultures and you blend life experiences, you get the best out of life, right?
Yeah.
So why not do the same with music? Like the concept of genres, boxing, frequency is something we don't abide by at all.
Yeah.
It's our mission statement. It's the ethos, you know. It's like all four of us have different influences and bring them together, but this band and this idea is why we put those things together. You know, it's like because we believe in that.
Right.
It's not just something we want to accomplish for ourselves. Like with our music, we believe in cross-contamination of culture as a whole.
Exactly. And one of the things I also want to highlight, it's not just being different for the sake of being different. This is just who we are. This isn't different. This is just us.
You were mentioning like how you guys are not yes men, and then also like just the entire process of how you guys kind of work together. So how difficult or how easy is it finding the right producer, especially for this record, like to bring them on board?
My God, it's taking forever. And this is why we have Zach Jones. That's why Zach Jones worked on the EP and he worked on this album, and we call him our 40. If we were Drake, he's our 40. And that's what it is, because it's not everyone, and it's not a knock on any producers. We've worked with some incredible producers. Like seriously, it's just he was the one that really understood us, and the transition was seamless.
He just gets it.
He just gets it. It's not a lot of explanation.
And it still is super collaborative. Like we learn from him, and he learns from us.
Yeah.
And sometimes you work with producers in a room, and they kind of just want to command what's happening.
Right.
They obviously take your ideas, but like with him, it's really like 50-50, just super collaborative, and we're constantly learning, which makes it exciting. And I think that translates onto the records as well. The excitement that we feel in that room working together.
Absolutely.
Right. So far, you guys have given us 4 tracks off this upcoming album. Which one of these 4 tracks have been like the biggest challenge to either write, create, or even like finalize in the studio?
Challenge? I wouldn't use the word challenge because I don't think it's how we create and when we're in the studio is so organic. It's so like, and organic for the lack of a better word. It's just kind of like there isn't really a challenge. It's more like, okay, we execute our ideas. That's what it is, and we execute it at the highest level that we can. So when we're in the studios, whether it's Zach or us writing our demos, because a lot of times we come in with pre-existing demos, and Zach helps elevate these demos in spaces based on his skill set, and it's just so it really isn't a challenge. It's more just like, oh, we're gonna do this, and we promise it's gonna be the best that we can deliver.
I guess out of the 4 songs, maybe just like Graveyard Words was, I think, a space that we hadn't explored as much yet.
Yeah, there's
you
new
know,
spaces.
so that's kind of like a new. You know, we brought in some drum and bass and just like different. It was a lot more everyone's verse is melodic for the most part. He raps a little bit, but there isn't really like just like attacking.
16.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
they're in an attacking 16.
And we just wanted to try something else different, and then like changing from the minor to major chord at the end, just like different elements of songwriting that we just hadn't tried before. So maybe to answer that question a little more direct, that would be the song, but. You know, Enemy and Look Alive, we did from scratch in the studio with Zach in 3-4 hours. Like some of those times it just comes out, and like we really are just like a vehicle and catching ideas out and like that are just in air. And,
that's crazy. That's crazy, but it explains why like the longevity so far with the band. Like you guys have been able to be, you know, doing this for quite some time already without having to release that debut album. Like that says a lot already. When it comes to this debut album, like what can the fans look forward to once it drops on October 20th?
Damn, shit. I would say everything Oxy. Like literally, this album culminates a moment in time. It encapsulates it, because we figured a lot of things out. And this album really is the sonic representation of who we are at the very moment, at this very moment.
I think we tell our fans all the time to be unapologetically themselves. This album is unapologetically ourselves.
Straight up.
I think it's everything you didn't know you wanted.
Okay.
And I think we have the audacity to say that I think this is a blueprint for a new era of what like hip hop and rock especially can sound like and be, and how much more authentic. We say this all the time. Nu metal and the idea of nu metal is just a glass ceiling, and that glass ceiling hasn't been broken in decades.
Until
I think
Oxymorrons came
until
into
10/20, October 20th. Melanin Punk. You heard?
And I must say, whatever you expect to hear on the album, don't expect it.
No.
And like, and at the,
You guys learned that by now.
and then on top of that, if you think that like we can't do a genre or do anything, you're wrong.
Just watch.
I guarantee you.
Watch.
Yeah. And once you hear this album, you're gonna be like, dang, and then by the next album, we'll push it even further. Sure.
So this album, again, it's right around the corner. You guys you've been on tour, back-to-back tours.
Yeah.
Different tours, because Corey Taylor was a completely different tour from what you guys are on right now.
Yeah.
How did these experiences help you navigate what this album might be like once you guys start touring this record?
I think all the tours we do are so different, even just this year alone, from Bad Omens, Nothing Nowhere, sort of the festival circuit, Corey Taylor, and now this, the last 2 years as well. Which I think what's exciting about it is we know we're in front of very different types of audiences all the time, and it's cool to see how this music still impacts and how we turn over fans constantly. We don't need our own. I mean, we're cultivating our own space for these people, but we keep entering other people's spaces and still being well received, and still like annihilating any challenge in front of us with our music, with our live show. So it goes to show you that people do want more. You know, and everyone just boxes themselves in terms of genres and things they like because they just don't know better yet.
Yeah,
and we're just kind of
or not even know better. I think people know better, but they're just afraid to take the leap.
Yeah.
The industry really puts you in positions to follow boxes and follow
It's a scary
trends.
place right now.
Yeah, and every musician, we all want to be successful. We all want to do that. It's just for us, it's just kind of like we've always wanted to be creative first. And for all of our heroes, all the people like we look up to, they always put that in the forefront. Yeah. And then always, and so for us, it's not even a risk. It's not even a thing. It's just who we are. We're gonna put that forward first, and what comes of it, we'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100.
Awesome, guys. Well, I'm excited for this record to drop. Congratulations with the tracks you guys have dropped so far. And you guys be sure to check out Oxymorrons. debut album
2
titled
R's, not
Melanin
one.
Punk is out October
Melanin
20th.
Punk. Uh-huh.
Thanks for watching on Front Row Live.
Yeah.
Front Row Live, what's up?
Woo!